Hello guys and welcome to career mode in IL-2 Korea. The mode is still an early access work in progress, but the basic idea is already extremely interesting. Instead of selecting isolated missions, we take command of an entire squadron. We manage its pilots, aircraft supplies, combat effectiveness and daily assignments, and then personally fly whichever mission we choose. Everything that happens carries forward. Pilots gain experience, aircraft can be damaged or permanently lost, supplies have to be managed, and if the squadron performs badly for too long, it can eventually be withdrawn from the front. So for this series, we're going to follow one unit through the campaign, keep track of each pilot and see whether we can turn it into an effective combat squadron. And the man responsible for all of this is Major Henrik Chick, a former P-40 and P-51 pilot veteran of the Second World War and now commander of the 8th 429th Fighter-Bomber Squadron. According to his official profile, Henry is highly skilled, extremely courageous, and has a discipline rating of exactly 0. So naturally, the Air Force gave him 20 jets and an entire squadron. His family history also involves moonshine, train robbers, and several generations of questionable decision making, which may explain the discipline rating. Henry's first assignment was an interception. Enemy bombers had crossed the front, so 12 F-80C Shooting Stars were sent north to stop them. The short montage at the beginning was that mission. The bombers were intercepted, their MiG-15 escorts joined the fight, and Major Chick somehow returned with 7 confirmed victories. The primary objective and both secondary objectives were completed, which earned the squadron 6 supply requests. Supply requests allow us to ask for replacement personnel and material support, and after this mission, replacements were already becoming relevant. We began the campaign with 20 operational aircraft. After 25 minutes of combat, we had 18. Alex Olson lost his F-80 but survived, and Lewin Powell was killed, becoming the very first permanent casualty of Henry's career. And this is where our actual campaign begins. The first mission gave us resources, cost us aircraft, and permanently removed 1 pilot from the squadron. Now we have to reorganize the unit, decide how to use our supplies and our supply request, and choose the next assignment. This time we're going to fly the complete mission from beginning to end. We begin on day 3 of the campaign with 6 supply requests available. After losing personnel and aircraft during our first operation, the priorities were fairly obvious. We requested 3 new pilots, 2 replacement aircraft, and some additional fuel. Now with the squadron reinforced, it was time to select our next mission. This time we choose an attack against an active enemy airfield. The target was located at waypoint 3, and intelligence suggested that a larger number of aircraft were operating from this area. Our orders were to destroy any aircraft parked on the ground, damage the airfield infrastructure, and prepare for any enemy fighters that managed to scramble. Before beginning, I would like to mention a really cool little feature about career mode. It gives us several options for controlling how the mission is generated. We can choose whether to begin in the air or start directly from the airfield, and we can adjust the balance of air forces, anti-aircraft defenses, and ground units. I prefer leaving the balance settings on random. That way I never know whether we are about to encounter light resistance or discover that the enemy has invested its entire military budget into this one airfield. Now for the attack, I equipped my F-80 with 10 HVAD rockets and 2 naval tanks. Once we were in the air, this was where career mode really began to impress me. Flying towards a shared objective with these many aircraft around you creates a completely different sense of scale. Looking towards the horizon, you can see silhouettes sketching across the sky with multiple formations, all moving towards the same battle. It genuinely feels like we are one small part of a much larger operation rather than the only flight in the entire war. Eventually the enemy airfield appeared ahead. Before attacking, I made a quick pass over the area to identify the parked aircraft, defensive positions, and the main section of infrastructure. There were several possible targets, but the buildings near the center of the airfield looked like the best place to begin. So I climbed slightly, turned back towards the target, and prepared the first attack. After that, I turned back towards the airfield for a second pass. This time the targets were the aircraft parked along the ground. I still had one rocket left, so I decided to turn around and try to hit that huge plane on the side of the airfield. Career mode is still in early access, so AI behavior is naturally one of the areas that will continue receiving work. The scale of these missions already feels excellent, seeing all these formations operating together is genuinely impressive. I just hope the friendly AI becomes more decisive around ground targets as development continues. With stronger squadron behavior, missions like this could become extremely good. With that splash and the airfield damage, I felt like there was really no reason to remain on this mission any longer, so I ordered the remaining aircraft to return to base and the squadron began to journey towards the airfield. The mission had been successful, in my opinion. The flight home was very quiet but very pretty. The Korean environment is absolutely beautiful and stunning. As we approached the airfield, I became a little bit distracted, looking away for a moment. I made a mistake, stalling the aircraft right before arriving to the airfield. There is really no heroic explanation for what happened, I just simply made a mistake. And sadly, due to my mistake, after surviving 2 combat missions, Major Henry Chick was killed because, well, I stopped looking forward. So the mission was still a success. We lost 3 pilots, they all died in action. We lost 3 aircraft. Compare that to the amount of planes we sent, I think it was a solid mission. Sadly though, our commander, well, passed away. Now, that does not mean the career is over. In fact, you can continue the career by replacing the commander. And therefore, we did just that. Meet Roque Ramirez, a former school teacher, experienced combat pilot, and the unfortunate man selected to inherit Major Chick's squadron. Roque provides 1 additional point of skill, 3 points of courage, and once again, absolutely nothing in discipline. Apparently, 0 discipline is not a coincidence, it is a requirement for this position. Major Henry Chick's career lasted only 2 missions. During that time, he destroyed enemy bombers, fought MiG-15s, attacked an enemy airfield, and completed every objective placed in front of him. And then I killed him with... It was not the ending I planned for our first look at career mode, but it perfectly demonstrates what makes this mode so interesting. The missions have consequences, the pilots remain dead, and the campaign continues with whoever is left. Roque Ramirez now inherits the aircraft, the victories, the supply request, and the rapidly growing casualty list of the 429th. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first look at career mode in IL-2 Korea. Let me know what you think of the mode so far and whether you believe our new commander can survive longer than Henry did. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next combat day.